Hey guys, Nike here, and today I'd like to bring you the final installment in my series of elitist guides to meta events. Today's guide is for the Octovine meta in Auric Basin. This is perhaps the most iconic meta event in Guild Wars 2. It's a relatively easy coordination check, but the over-the-top rewards are the selling point. Besides significant basic loot, there are several high rolls you can get up to 1,000 gold infusion. Rewards aside, the reason to do the meta from a fun perspective is that it's one of the few places in open world Guild Wars 2 where one or two players can make a whole map succeed or fail, which means that it's inherently extremely elitist, and we like that. When the map gets a clean 4-way one burn, it's a thing of beauty. When there's a one burn at south before the other lanes are ready and there's panic in map chat and it turns into a total clown fiesta, well, that's also a thing of beauty. We win either way. Another beneficial aspect of the panic that we can induce is that it forces players to suddenly try. Anything that wakes up the normally sedate, open-world Guild Wars 2 players' lethargic lifestyle is good. We want these casuals to wake up, check in, and learn to play. This is achieved by introducing the very small but real chance that the meta could fail. So how does an elitist handle this meta? Well, let's talk about it. The first thing to know is that there's 4 lanes, referred to by their cardinal direction. North is the noob lane. It's the lane where players who are new to the game and new to Auric Basin rock up to. It's usually the lowest DPS lane and one of the last to burn despite having a very easy mechanic. West lane attracts role players who like the mushroom transform aspect. They are all bad players too. How do I know this? It's because they never kill the frogs first in their lane or the breacher. More on that later. Also, they take too long to burn by running around the edge of the arena to be safer, when the pro move is to run it down mid and use your brain to avoid being hit. Since they have no brain, they can't do this. East lane is actually where the wannabe elitists go. It has the easiest mechanic, and so people who think that they are cool leeches are attracted to it. It's also the lane that people who think they do good DPS but are actually bad at the game go to. Best to avoid this lane if you're a thinking man. Now, South lane is the Giga Chad lane. It has the hardest frogs. It has a mechanic that requires profession knowledge to do. And it has the longest burn phase. So you can flex with a savage one-shot that sends the map into a panic. Clearly, this is the ideal lane for anyone with a functioning brain, big damage, and a desire to elevate the Guild Wars 2 scene. Therefore, we, the elitists, go south. Once the meta starts, we make a beeline for the breacher. The breacher is a weird worm thing that vomits out more frogs. We must kill the breacher to avoid more frog spawns. Next, we're going to deal with the frogs themselves. These are the Mordrum floppers. These floppers are a terror. They are so fearsome that they've been known to make entire guilds disband. They have 2 deadly attacks. The first is a tongue lash that pulls you into them and steals your boons. The frogs will have all boons if they pull multiple people, and that means they become a serious threat. They then follow up their eponymous flop, which is going to do not only big damage, but also CCs you for 4 seconds. This is usually deadly. The key to dealing with the frogs is by dodging the tongue and standing behind them so that they can't easily flop on you. Then you break their break bar and smush them. The next thing worth mentioning is the armor. The armors are the key to this lane more so than the others. However, it should be said and stressed and emphasized that only trash plebs use the armor, so we definitely don't want to be using one ourselves. However, if you're a trash pleb, please listen up. The best thing you can do is clear the trigger blossoms from the central pathway, so the bombs can be efficiently pushed. The second best thing you can do is stun the roly boys. There is no third best thing. I often see plebs wearing the armor, using random attacks on the Octovine when it's not even able to be damaged yet. I'm not sure what they're hoping to accomplish, but they're not accomplishing anything. Again, stun the roly boys and clear the pathway. Now we come to the all-important burn phase. The key here is to be top DPS. Anything short of top 3 DPS is a total failure. If the boon uptimes are bad in your squad, feel free to gently flame them. Something like, hey, the alack is bad, or quickness, ? Smiley face, are sufficient to let the group know they are trash without actually telling them that directly. Be aware, some uninformed imbeciles will tell you not to one burn in squad chat or say chat. They will say something like stop or slow DPS. Now, whatever you do, do not listen to these people. These people are total frauds, imposters, and counter-programmers. These people are the type of people who should be ostracized from society and relegated to life amongst the wild animals in the forest, where they can't cause any trouble to reasonable people. Once you've burned south, take a gander at the other lanes. If the players are non-trash, their lanes will be at 50% or below. If so, sit tight and wait for them to finish. Maybe add a helpful message in map chat like, "Why are your lanes so slow to kill Lamau?" If one of the lanes is over 50%, and let's be fair, it'll be west lane 90% of the time, you should go help them finish the burn on their next attempt. Now, helping idiots might not sound very elitist, but it actually serves a very elitist function. Once we successfully carry west to a big burn and collect our loot, we can say something in map chat like, "Wow, south not only handled their lane, but they also carried garbage west lane." And all reasonable people will agree. Some excitable idiots in map chat might disagree, but too bad because you've already closed map chat and you'll never look at it again. Now we loot. Elitists will always skip the tarnished trader. Elitists only loot the big chest. The reason is there is an informal race to the final big chest. Whoever loots all the big chests and gets to the final chest first is clearly the most elite and highest skilled player on the entire map. Once you win, you should be clear in say chat and tell the others that you've beaten them, they were easy to beat, and they presented literally no challenge in your race. Mission being accomplished, you can now sort your loot in peace. You're done here. And with that said, that's really all there is to it. Thanks for watching. Please leave any comments you have below. I'd like to hear what you have to say, and I'll see you next time.